Hey, my Jujubes, welcome back to the channel. How are you guys doing? Today is Wednesday, hump day. And I'm so glad to be here on this Wednesday. I am trying to have a attitude of gratitude and not focus so solely on the one or two bad experiences or incidents I have throughout the day. So I'm learning, I'm growing. But if you are new here, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It would make me so excited if you did. I'm at 190 subscribers, guys. I'm trying to get to 200. So help me out. Share, share, share. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell at the bottom so you could be, or next to the subscribe button, so you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. Today I have steak, baked potato, and some green spinach that my mama insisted that I put on my plate. She said it got to be colorful. I'm not gonna eat that spinach today because it's raw and it don't have nothing on it. So yesterday we left off in ethic with Alani accidentally, or in self-defense, if you will, killing Dolce. Oh, here's my shirt. It says not a, but it just says well read black woman. I got this from the book lover site. Ashley Antoinette has a book lover site on Instagram. And so that's where I got this shirt from. Ashley Antoinette is my favorite, as you guys know. So let me get my thumbnail. All right. So we left off with Alani accidentally, or in self-defense, if you will, because that's really what it was. Killing Dolce. So I just got barbecue sauce on my meat, y'all. Little steak. So when after he told her what to do, go in the bathroom, clean herself up, wait on him to come back. Now, this took a toll on Alani. Because Alani is not what you call a street person. She knows about it, but she don't live that lifestyle. You know what I mean? So after she did this, it was heavy on her because she felt like, oh my God, I committed murder. You know what I mean? Like, whether it was in self-defense or not, murder is still murder. And I'm the one that did it. And she felt even worse because she felt like that she probably could have saved Dolce if she would have called 911. But she didn't want to have to relive everything. If Dolce stayed alive, what was she going to do to her family? What was she going to do to Ethic? What was she going to do to her having to relive the fact that her daughter was murdered? Like, she didn't want to have to do that. So instead of dialing 911, she let Dolce die. So she was in her bed, in Ethic's bed, couldn't sleep, eyes burning from crying and from all of the chemicals that Aries used to clean up the mess. She heard him come in as the sun rose. He showered. Thinking that she was asleep, but she wasn't. And of course, she wanted him to hurry up so he can get to her. But, sorry, that was nasty. But she knew that he had to do what he had to do. So he got into bed with her, and he said, "It's over." And he said, "I'm so sorry, baby." And she was like, what if somebody finds her? Oh my God, I'm going to jail. He trying to convince her like, it's okay. You're not going to jail. I took care of it. Like, everything's okay. He told her, you're not going to jail. That'll never happen. He said, I will never let it. I took care of it. It never happened. You hear me? You had a bad stop dream. That's all. So she cried. And she said, I could smell her blood after he said it'll go away. She said, I can't live in this house. I can't cook in that kitchen. He told her, like, I'll buy you a new one. I'll buy you a whole new house. Like, it's okay. So she kind of just was sad, for the rest of the day. And so the kids had came to knock on the door, to come check on her because she hadn't really been there up until this point. She was staying with Nanny because remember her and Ethic was fighting for real. And so he was like, I could send him away. She was like, no, let him come in. I need them, So she was just kind of like in the bed. Ooh, excuse me. Laying with them, watching movies, but she never came out of that room all day. So, why my mama give me all this fat meat right here? That's nasty, y'all. So, sorry, my teeth cold. And then Air Star, you okay? And after said she's not feeling well. Nothing a little love can't fix. And he said, well, I got lots of love. And he pushed past Ethic and rushed over to Alani and laid in the bed with her. And so, and then when he was about to leave out the door, she told him, like, don't leave. Like, she just needed the security of everybody else. Like I said, this is weighing on her. Having to kill Dolce. And even though it was either her or Dolce, I know why she felt bad, but I don't know why she did anyway. Because, like, if you ain't do her, girl, she was going to get you. She was trying to shoot you to smithereens. So, Ethic, being the man that he is, he knew that this was a lie. And he could only help her so far. So, he sent the text message to Nair and told him, I need you to come to my house ASAP. It's Alani. She needs you. So, he said, I'm on my way. So, now mind you, him and Nair ain't seen each other since the blowout at Nair's house. Since Ethic beat him up. Beat him up and beat the daddy up. But it took Ethic to put his pride to the side because he knew the spiritual guidance that he needed, Nair had it. And even though Ethic is on a road to get there, he knows that he don't have it like Nair could give it to his girl. So he get there. He says she's upstairs. Something happened, and before I speak on it, I need to know it stays here. And so he said, I'm your pastor, but beyond that, I'm your blood. He said, what's spoken ain't repeated, G, no matter how many times we come to blows. And so he told him, like, and he said, I didn't know about you, me or Zora. He said, my pops never spoke about you or his life before moving to Michigan to the other night. I didn't even know his real name. He changed to Ezekiel Hawthorne. I don't even know who he is right now, G. I spent my entire life idolizing a lie. He said, I overreact at your party. I know you and Lonnie have history. I'm not a man that worries about what happened before me. It's just, he said, I loved her, but I fucked that up. He said, I was young and dumb. I was chasing the city. He said, so I abandoned her. I took my opportunity to get out and I never looked back. I never came back for her. He said, it took me a long time to make amends for that, to even be her friend. He said, she's one of my best friends. A lot of people turned their backs on me, but when I got let go from the league, Alani was the same. She was waiting at home with the same smile, the same hug. She never judged me for my mistakes. And I'm not waiting. He said, I'm not around waiting for a second shot with her, my G. He said, she's just a valuable piece of my life and I want her to be happy. And he said, I don't know how you feel about the whole bloodline thing, but I want to know you. He said, not as I heard about growing up on the street. He said, I want to know my brother real. He was like, that pastor stuff just just goes out the window real easy. He said, I do more praise than I do sinning these days. He said, big homie know my heart. And so Ethic said, okay, she upstairs. He was like, it would help. He said, Ethic says, that brother thing, it'll take some time, some work. You got to come to terms with the fact that my brother was screwing with my girl. He's talking about, well, if it helps you, I shot out more times than I was succeeded. I was young. He was like, nah, that don't help. That don't help. So he went upstairs and he talked to Alani. She told him what she did and how heavy it made her feel. And so Nair was just basically telling her, like, you love Ethic more than you love God, more than you love yourself. And you have, in turn, taken on all of the heaviness that he comes along with, so much so that you've lost your way. Not that you can't love God and love him, but you have officially made him your altar. Like, he's the person who you worship, who you love, who you go to. Like, so much so that a piece of you is in the dirt. You have allowed the love that you have for him and his family to outweigh what you know to be right, what you know to be so. The relationship that you have with God, it's changed, it's different. You're not praying as much, you're not seeking God as much, even though you're trying to get him there. Something in you has liked being submerged in this with him. And he still did try to tell her, like, it was self-defense. It was either you or her. Like, yeah, you made a mistake, but it's okay. And so she told him about the fact that Dosha had the shirt about him killing Kenzie. And she was like, I need to go to the police. He was like, why? Like, but why? Like, she was like, and let them know what happened. He was like, so I got a question for you. If you go to the police, are you going to tell them the whole truth, or are you just going to tell them your wrongdoing? And then she was like, oh, because of course I wouldn't, because he doesn't deserve to be in jail. He was like, and you do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was what it was, but that was self-defense. You did what you had to do to save you. It was either you or her, and it was you. So you came out on a winning end. But if you're not going to open up Pandora's box and give all of the info, then you just might as well keep all the info buried up under the dirt. So they prayed with each other, and tried to soothe her aching heart. And so she Nair wound up going outside, and Ethic was sitting in the hallway. I mean, like, destroyed, like back against the wall, knees to his chest, hands draped over him, head down. And when Nair came out, he was like, she gonna leave me, ain't she? I'm like, oh my God, like, you just made it this far and she about to go. He was like, nah, man. He was like, I don't think it's nothing that anybody can do to get her to leave you. Like, that's how much she loves you. Like, and so he was like, but you got to take care of her. Y'all got to get it right or get it together or whatever the case may be. She said, loving him is so heavy. And then, I'm trying to flash forward too. Okay. So he asked her, he said she's leaving. He said, nah, she's not doing that. He said, I don't know what kind of love you out here serving, but I don't think she would ever leave you, even if she knows she should. He said she'll die. She'll just die here trying to love you. If you care about her, though, you either got to let her go or you got to implement change, G. He said, you ever put her in a position like this again, you'll have to kill me, bro, because I'm gonna try to kill you. Alana's been my family for a long time. I care about this girl, and you're gonna be the death of her. He said, you can't protect her, so if you're living through hell, shake them devils, G. And then before he tried to leave, she said, now wait. And then he said, can you drop me out? She said, can you drop me off at home? He said, yeah, I'll wait in the car. And she said, I just need some time. I can't sleep here. I can't be here. And then she went down the stairs, and then she turned around like, Ethic, and he said, yeah, baby. And she asked him, is love enough? And he said, I don't know. I don't know. And she left. So I feel like they made it through so much. And I hoped at this very moment in the book, I was like, please don't let this be. Because for real, Ethic, this isn't something that Ethic caused. Like, this isn't something that he did. You know, it was something that was I can't say that. It was something that he did, but not directly. You know, something that he did in the past now affecting all of his future decisions. But I guess that's kind of how karma goes. But at this very time, I was just like, please don't let them, you know, not make it, because I want them to be, I want Ethic and Alani to have a happy ending so bad. So he drove around, and she asked him, could he take her to the cemetery? And he said okay that he would take her. And he said, I thought you want to go to Nanny's house. And she was like, I just haven't been here to see Lucas since, you know, it all happened. So Nair had asked him, like, why did you want to go to Nanny's? And then you know what I just noticed? I'm reading this book in the chapter before. Well, maybe Nanny had came to pick him up or something. I don't know. But anyway, he said, I thought you were going to Nanny. She was like, the kids are there. I can't go there because then they'll think something wrong. He's like, well, isn't it? You know, but ain't it all just falling apart? And she said, I don't know. I just couldn't stay there. I just need to think. And she said, he killed my daughter now. Like, this is crazy. It has to be some type of depression, a psychotic break. He killed my daughter, and I sleep next to him every night. And he said, if you want out, let me know if you want out, because we can go back there, we can grab your stuff, and we can bounce. Like, I make it all about me. Like, I'll take the L for it. If I got to fight him, I'll fight him, but you can go, because this right here is just too much for me, and I don't want you to have to deal with this. And so she said, stuff, because he said, you want me to get your stuff and go grab your shit? She said, stuff, not air. You going to hell. You the most devilish man of God in the world. And he said, I'm serious. If you want me to give you an out, tell Ethic you done, I will. She said, if only it was that simple. She said, he's a stain on my heart, and I can't get him out. She said, he said, I don't think he can get you out either. She said, I don't know how I love him, but I do so much. And Nair said, that's okay. He said, I'm here for you if you ever need me. You know that, right? She said, I know. And so they started to talk about, he said, do you need to be near Kenzie? She said, no, I'm here to see Lucas. I haven't seen him since everything went down. And so then Nair had asked her, like, do you think that in this wonderful world of everything coming back full circle, do you think that maybe Ethic came along to come and deliver whatever he delivered to Lucas, and Kenzie was in the way because some kind of way things was off with Kenzie? He was like, when have you ever known Lucas to sleep with Kenzie like that when you was there? He was like, did he ever do that when you were there? She was like, no, never. He was like, and I always noticed how Kenzie was very, timid and shy around me, and like almost afraid even. And she didn't really say much. She was 3 years old, I think they said, so she really didn't do a lot of talking. He was like, I'm not saying that, I noticed for sure, but why would he be that close to her in that instance? Like, he always was with her. And Alani was like, well, what are you saying? And then she was like, I would know if something was going on. He was like, I'm not saying lie, I'm just asking, like, maybe in the twisted way that the world works, Ethic came and killed Kenzie accidentally because he was saving her from a life of abuse from your brother. And she like broke down into tears. Like, oh my God, he was hurting my baby. How did I know? And when Nair was running it all back to her, basically saying how timid Kenzie was and how she was around men, she got to thinking like, oh my God, like he was hurting my baby and I wasn't even there to help her. But she was working because she had to provide for her baby. And so it all kind of just came as like a heavy burden. She was crying. She done got the car, picked up a shovel and tried to break to break the headstone that was on Lucas's headstone because she was just hurt. Like maybe God sent Ethic to save Kenzie, but at the same time in saving Kenzie, he was there to, still bring back that love to Alani. So she had um this breakdown in there. And he said, if everything happens for a reason, La, what's the reason for this? For Ethic to kill a child. I don't know if I'm reaching, but Lucas was no saint. If he was hurting Kens, if she was afraid to tell you or maybe couldn't tell you, she was just a baby. Maybe she didn't even know it was wrong. If he was terrorizing her, if your home was a hell, maybe God sent an angel he lost a long time ago. Maybe he lost Ethic and he put all of this in motion to save two souls that belonged to him. Maybe Ethic was sent into your house that night to bring Kizzy back to God, and that single sin pushed him into your life and reeling him in right back to God too. Maybe Ethic ended Kizzy's pain and gave her back to God where he could keep her safe. Now she's okay. And Ethic's okay, and his children have you, a beautiful woman, a mother. Kizzy won't miss time with you, La. And so she said, God, he hurt my baby. And she had a whole breakdown, like I said, at the thing. And that's disheartening to learn as a mother that the years that your daughter was here, your brother, her uncle, was hurting her. And you didn't know. And now she's gone and you couldn't even save her. So now you got the guilt of that and the guilt of the fact that she's not here. So he took her back home to to Ethics. And when she pulled up, he was kind of like relieved. You know how, oh my gosh, she came back. Because he has this fear, I think, every time Alani leaves, I think he fears like, oh my gosh, she's gonna leave me. She's never gonna come back. And so he went to Ethic. She went to Ethics, and then when she got the car and came to the garage, she said, it was a really bad day. He said, yeah, baby, it was. And he was emotional. He said anyone else wouldn't have been able to tell. But the way his shoulders rounded forward slightly, the deepest lines etched in his forehead, and the way he was squeezing that red mechanic's rag in his strong hands, she knew he had been through hell every minute that she had been away. She had left, but she had come back. Words evaded him. I want to talk, but I just need a minute, she said. So she went in the house and so she went in the house and she tried to, get herself together. So maybe a couple days has gone by and Alani has tried to refill herself. If you are a spiritual being out there, you know that when something drains you emotionally and spiritually, sometimes you have to grab a hold of yourself and grab a hold of your surroundings and pull your stuff back into you and be able to get that feel, pour back into you what you have given the world. And so Alani has done that, listening to, sermons and reading the Bible and listening to gospel music. She's trying to center herself because she knows she's off. Okay. And so listening to Sarah Jakes, and it seems like, of course, everything was endless. So he was in the garage and she was standing there and he told her like, come. So she came over and he opened his arms as she wrapped her hands around his body. He was covered in sweat and grease. He said, I'm filthy, baby. And He didn't close his arms around her because she was clean. And in just that instant, she realizes that he it was easy to misinterpret, but Alani was so aligned with his spirit that when he spoke their love language effortlessly, there was shame hanging from him. Like he was insecure about the tar that had covered his soul. And he couldn't even touch her for fear of staining her. So she grabs the oil and she rubs it all over herself. And she tells him that I want to be covered in whatever covers you. Until we figure out how to clean it all off together, how we get it all out, we'll just have to be filthy together. I don't care, Ezra. And so they got busy in the garage. And in the way that only they could. They was knocking over stuff. And she like, be quiet before you wake the kids up. And he don't care. And I think he might have told her that he was sorry for what he did. And she told him that what was needed to be done. I understand so many things. I get how a good person can end up with blood on their hands. So basically she was saying like she could understand how he was in the circumstances that he was in because she has now faced similar circumstances. Not exactly, but similar circumstances. And so he, of course, feels like he's not worthy of her. Her even being able to understand him despite all of his flaws and all of his shortcomings. He feels like he's not even worthy to have a woman of her stature. He said, how did I end up with you? He said, I had the nerve to be mad at you over some dumb stuff, over a father that I didn't even know, over a nigga you was with before me, over love, when I was the one who put you in a position to give birth by someone you fear. I was out of line, Lanika, and you still stepped for a nigga. Oh, for a man. Sorry, I hope they don't say nothing about that. He said, I think you had every right to be upset with me. I owe you some explanation, she whispered as her eyes bore. He said, you don't. You don't. She said, you said I was trying to turn you into him. I would never try to turn you into someone else. You're perfection. There's no change needed. People need to study you. Be more ethic-like. And then she told him that she just wanted to help. And he said, you have in ways that you can't even comprehend. He said, I'm going to show you. I'm going to be the man you deserve. Every chance I get, I'm going to show you. Because you shown me that love is evident. That it's evidence that God is real, and God is real. That means a guy can be saved. That all the stuff that I have done, I can be forgiven. Thank you for teaching me. And thank you for saving me. And I love them. I'm emotional right now, but I ain't even going to worry about it. I ain't going to worry about that. We ain't going to worry about it. So they went in the house, got their stuff together, and the kids was over nannies or whatever, and he said, we'll go to second service on Sunday. So get some rest. He kissed her forehead. She said, hey. He said, what is it? She said, I'm fine with church on Sunday. I need it, but I like to spend some time at home this week. He said, you are home. And she said, nannies, I need to leave. My daughter's birthday this week, and I can't be here with you on that day. And he said, okay. And of course, he relives that he has an agony or a hurt in him, knowing that there's going to be certain times of their life and certain times and certain days and months and days and years in their relationship that she won't be able to look at him. And he just has to deal with that. And it's unfortunate, but they are on the right path to get themselves back to as normal as their love can be, because they already have an abnormal, wonderful love affair, love story, if you ask me. So I'm going to stop right here. We are almost done with book 6. It seemed like it took me it's going to take me a little longer because book 6 got a lot of meat in it. But I'm going to go ahead and stop right here, guys. I will be I will record another video tomorrow. Friday, I don't know. Saturday, my brother's getting married. So I don't know if I record a video that day, or maybe I might do a little mini vlog. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. But please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, guys. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting me and watching me. I will be back tomorrow. Like I said, same place, maybe not the same time. But until next time, Bye, my jujubes.